There we go. Indeed. And greetings upon you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for sharing this time, this space, this moment, the stream with me. It's day 404, and by Toasty's request, it's day 404, stream not found. But I couldn't leave it just at that, so I had to add, but love was. The stream might not be, but love will always. And it might be a little bit of a stretch, just a little bit, but in this context of stream not found, stream having been found, I want to talk about us having found one another. Us being able to communicate with one another in a way that we, more so than not, understand one another. Good morning, Dan. I was actually talking about you today, Brother Bear. I was talking about you today. My dad told me to tell you that he appreciates you. Like me and him had like a 2 hour conversation again today. I won't get into it, but yeah, you were loved, my friend. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me, dude. How are you doing? How's the paintings been going? I'm curious. Love to you, Melita. Love to you, Natalie. That is beautiful. I wish I could stay, but I will send all the love, kind soul. Thank you so much, Natalie. Sending love right back, right back your way. Melting in the shade. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Saint Pariah, Brother Bear, thank you for joining me. Like, unfortunately, now when I think about Saint Pariah, I just see this, you know, absolutely gorgeous locks of hair pouring off of his face like waterfalls. Thank you for joining us, Brother Bear. Oh, what a cute title. How are you all today? Um, I'm good, Talia. Hello, yay. Hello. Hello, you silly thing. Hello, you. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh, you don't want to be held, do you? No. No, no, no. It's too hot to be held. It's way too hot to be held. I actually want to write down something that Jenny said 2 days ago, and then I'll get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to talk about today, shall we? And the thing that she said yesterday, or the day before yesterday, maybe the day before that, was that people are larger on the inside than the outside. And it's on that note that I want to pose this question to you today. We try to understand, and we try to understand by communicating, but it's very difficult for us as human beings to genuinely understand one another. Like there's this saying, how can we expect to understand space when we can't even understand each other? And it's on that feeling, on that energy, on that expression that I want to like kind of beat today, if you will, especially with this space where I feel, even though we might have some disagreements, even though we might not see everything eye to eye, there is a certain amount of resonance, a certain amount of frequency, in this space that allows us to understand one another. I feel a little bit more thoroughly, where it can be difficult sometimes, to talk to a person that might not be resonating in the same way that you are. And because of that, and because of how large they are on the inside, and, the amount of stuff that's going on, and how limiting the spoken word is in comparison to what's going on inside of us, it's so difficult for us to understand one another. And, being confronted with this information, I just referenced it back to this place and this stream and us showing up for it, and how I feel we do. Maybe not perfectly, but maybe more more perfectly than the rest of the world used to. We understand one another. We see where we're coming from. We have a collective feeling for what it is we want to do together. And I believe that that allows us to understand one another more than we usually do. And it fascinates me. It fascinates me that we can communicate. I can say things to a person, and even though the things I say to me might be true, to me might make sense, to me have so much, like I'm imagining, I'm seeing in my mind, like let me explain to you as I'm trying to communicate. I'm seeing an image or a three-dimensional object in my mind's eye. And this three-dimensional object basically starts to form a flat surface or a flat plane. And this flat plane, even though from the front on viewing angle, it looks flat and it looks like a cohesive image. This cohesive image is built out of three-dimensional objects that go into the back of it, if you will. And because of the way that I understand, for instance, a topic, that topic has multiple nuances, multiple areas of interest. And then as I try to communicate, I'm basically taking this three-dimensional object and viewing it from one angle and then trying to communicate this viewpoint I have of it to you. When in your mind, as this message comes to you, you might be constructing it in a different way. This three-dimensional object might be constructed in a way that is not built out of all of the things that you have been building your initial argument on. And because of that, we're saying the exact same thing, but as it comes out of our mouths, the meaning of it transforms mid-air as it hits that person and it gets absorbed by them. And it's so difficult for us to understand one another because of that. At least that's the way that I see things and understand things. And that's just that's just me. Now imagine, not only is that level of complexity present, but there's also the complexity of each and every single individual mind working completely differently, having a complete different interpretation of the same set of information. And it was just shown to me again today how no matter how much I know, no matter how certain I am, no matter how many points of information, data, facts I present, if this other person's understanding isn't aligned with my understanding, they will not understand. And it's surreal to me that I feel I can be understood, that I can understand other beings as yourselves. That's the trip I've been going through today. Please do share if you've been through this trip as well. He's showing his cat ear. Little Pippi. I wonder where she is. She's laying on the grass right now. Looks like she's pouncing bugs or something. We'll see if she comes and say hi again. It really needs some loving love right now. I see an anchor when I close my eyes, Melita. Does that mean something to you? I feel, if anything, this space has been anchored. So, like, at least that you can come here and share some love. Do you want to share why you feel you really need some love right now? You don't have to, of course. We'll send you love nonetheless. But we're here with you, my friend. We love you so much. Lol, you're one to talk with the gorgeous locks. No, stop it, you. I know you, Saint Mariah. Is that a Chihuahua? No, she's a Jack Russell. She might have a little bit of Chihuahua in her. Maybe like her grandma was a Chihuahua or something. But I think her parents were Jack Russells again. She looks mostly Jack Russell, and she has a lot of Jack Russell doings, if you will. So I hope I hope she's just a Jack Russell. All that really matters to me, if she's a bastard dog or not. I love her to bits. Mm. Talia is sending love to Rena, saying, "Ah, I'm sending you warm and deep loving hugs. Are you all right? I hope so. We're here with you, my friend." Bro, I want to ask a question, please. PDF Live. I would love to hear your question, friend. Thank you for joining us, Goo, and for sharing a starstruck with us. Like two beings, like two beings raised in two different alien civilizations. Exactly. You're right, Ryan. You're so right. And like one of the conversations we had was one of awareness, and there was this area of contention between the awareness I have and the awareness my conversational partner has, and there was a unwillingness to believe, to admit, to consider that one of us might have more awareness in a certain field than another does. And one of the points that I make, and it's a point that I believe is very important to bring here as well, is that I hope, I thoroughly hope, it would be the best thing ever if my children one day are more aware than me, and they can in turn share that awareness with me. And instead of that being something to be scared of, I feel like it's something to be proud of, something to be celebrated, something that I should look forward to. It's a weird world, Ryan. Such a weird world. How can we understand the world if we cannot even understand one another? I do want to read something worth saying. I feel like that definitely wasn't the thing worth saying. I'm gonna look for one today instead of just letting the chaos theory choose for us. Understanding. I would really like something that touches on understanding. You know what? I think this is the one. It goes, you as a soul, as a divine spark of consciousness, are deliberately choosing to create forms of communication. For you are constantly and only creating forms through which you communicate. Communication, then, is the attempt to rest in communion with creation. Communication, therefore, is creation. What I seek to convey reveals what I believe is the truth of myself to the world. And that truth is love. And I feel, we've we've collectively come to that understanding, right? And I try to share this understanding, you know, with the person I talked to today. I'm gonna start referring to it as such. And I try to make the example of. Are you okay? You eating grass? I try to make the example of a flower. That the flower and the bee relationship is a loving one as well. And the person said that no, it's not loving. The bee wants food and the flower wants to be pollinated. I'm like, okay, but then we can abstract further. Why does the bee want food? Does it want to keep itself alive? Does it want to keep its brood alive? Does it want to keep its hive alive? And couldn't that be seen as a representation living towards love is true as well? And then from the other side, the flower, if it's being pollinated or not pollinated, it would experience, in my opinion, love or lack of love as well. And I was just trying to allude to this understanding that love is true, and that is the belief and the understanding that we're trying to communicate to one another. And it's from that understanding, that central belief that love is true, that we come together and we share these spaces with one another. And it's very evident to me that it's not going to be understood by other people. And maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it shouldn't be. This one again. What I seek to convey reveals what I believe is the truth of myself to the world. What I seek to convey reveals what I believe is the truth of myself to the world. I felt into that a little bit. Thank you for bearing with me. Where are you? I am in South Africa, friend. It's nice of you to join us today. Hey, Dissociative Nugget. Thank you for the love you shared a little bit earlier as well. And thank you for sharing love here, my friend. Yes, an anchor makes sense because I need to push some negative fields towards the earth and ground myself by it. Just some wild combinations of lack of understanding and expectations that I wasn't even aware I hold that are now bombarding me a bit. So, the things I'm thinking about right now is in this context of understanding, and that's why I'm really spending some time with it. In this context of understanding, and it's so crazy to me that you mentioned that as well. Thank you, Melita, for co-creating with me like this. We don't only understand things in our own frames of references, but we also understand things coming from outside sources in that frame of reference. And then there's a third thing, if you will, where we expect to find our biases in the information that's being communicated. Vice versa, we refuse to believe information if it doesn't confirm our biases. And as you're mentioning today, what happened with you, or the feelings you're having right now, is because of this combination of a lack of understanding. And I feel even more specifically the expectations you had with your understanding. Because, and I believe that happens to us, especially in this space, is we understand things in a certain way, we interpret the world in a certain way, and then because of our understanding of the world, of our relationships with others, we have expectations aligned with that understanding. And these expectations, sometimes, in your words as well, we're not even aware of. Sometimes where we expect things, and then we don't receive what we expected, and then we assume that that is now something that's wrong. It's something that is because of a misunderstanding from the other side, when sometimes we don't communicate effectively. We don't give the other person the opportunity to understand us properly because we haven't been able to give information properly. And it's crazy to me that we have these biases, Melita, because I'm seeing it. I see it happening to myself, and I see it happening to the people I'm talking to, where there has been this ingrained belief for so long, and if that belief isn't being confirmed, then it must mean that that belief, or at least the information that's being shared, is wrong. And then, no matter how much sense the information might make, it would not be understood because it doesn't align with the expectation. Goodness, Melita, thank you. Thank you for giving me so much insight. I appreciate you, my friend. Giovanna Nugget, hope you're doing all right. Jovan is joining us as well. Thank you for joining us, my sister. It's so nice to have you here. I think I missed your little wave and a heart. Love to you, my beloved friend. So much love to you. How are you feeling? You mentioned a little bit, I think 2 days ago, that you've been feeling a little bit. I'll just do that. How are you feeling right now? Thank you. I will be. The worst part is over. The fight of myself over myself. Like every single time you say something, Melita, my mind, runs with a whole new little fractal. So the fractal of my mind just ran is this expectation, okay, rather layers of self, the awareness. Well, technically the center would be the awareness layer, then the ego kind of going around that, the persona going around that. Our egos want certain things, have certain expectations. Our persona expects certain things, has to have way, like certain things in a certain way, where our awareness doesn't discriminate between any of it. If it's absolutely horrible or absolutely wonderful, our awareness is still going to be there, aware of it, if you will. And it's crazy to me that we can fight with ourselves. The part of ourselves, the aware part of ourselves can be like, well, what are you tripping out about? And then our ego is like, but this thing and that thing and this thing. And our ego is like, right now. Or our awareness is like, no, 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 no. You're tripping yourself out, dude. You need to stop doing that. Can we understand ourselves? Maybe that's the question to ask. If we understand ourselves, will we fight less with ourselves? Will we fight less with others? I hope so. I genuinely feel like I'm gaining some understanding about how I'm supposed to be doing things going forward as well. Mm. Things were said today. My mind is running through them. Understanding. So even though the things that were said to me today, I don't believe, and I believe it was the things that were said were said from a perspective of warm-bloodedness, like heat of the moment type of expression. Even though it might, and I'm aware that it might be that, I'm still trying to learn from that understanding. And that's something that I feel is very important for us to realize as well, is that we can gain understanding from someone's misinterpretation of something. We can get understanding about them, we can get understanding about ourselves, we can get understanding about how we're supposed to be ourselves with them. And I feel that's I'm allowing myself that right now. So I'm sorry if I'm in my own head a little bit. I'm trying to deal. I'm trying to deal. Reiki Marie, so much love to you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Love you. Some really tool-like shit. I don't think that is a massive compliment, Fred. Thank you. Electra Amber, thank you so much. Indeed, communication is so important, and it does create a lot, but we need to be prepared not to be heard, no matter how hard we try to communicate something. That's what I'm doing with myself right now, Melita. Like that, like your words are like on point. I'm growing the ability to accept to not be heard. And I'm taking all of the stuff that I've been through, like all of the conversations I've had where no matter how many different perspectives I try to bring, the message is still not understood. And instead of feeling into this place of, why don't you understand? It's just this perspective of standing back and being like, maybe you don't need to. Layers of awareness, conscious evolution, genetic information. Could I expect understanding? Should I expect understanding? I can only expect myself to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I can understand how the things I'm doing influence others, right? And I can make an educated decision whether or not I should continue. And that's what I feel I need to understand today. Oh goodness. feels like the awareness part of myself is taking my ego for a spin. If my ego is attached to my brain, it's like working it with a spoon. It's like, peeling it slowly but surely. Though through communicating, we're creating in each other's minds. Let's create some beauty in each other's imaginations. What a beautiful thing that is to say. I'm gonna put that in the things worth saying book, Talia. What a cool thing that is to say. Because you're right. You're literally creating with inside someone else's mind by communicating with them. So, realizing that power, what do you want to create? How could we say that? Through communicating, we're creating in each other's minds. Communication creates in the mind of those that hear. Choose to create beauty. How about that, Talia? Thank you. Thank you so much for adding to the things worth saying. I appreciate you so much. And not to feel bad about it, but know that you did your best. I feel, again, that's what I mean as well, Melita, is taking your own understanding of what you did, of why you did it, as your value, as the thing that you can take away from that exchange, instead of expecting a certain outcome in the exchange, a certain thing that this person is gonna say, expect, like, because that's what it is, you know? Like, we fight with one another sometimes, expecting some sort of resolution, expecting a sorry, expecting a, oh, I see the way you see it now, and I was wrong about my way of seeing it. Like, that expectation in and of itself is going to ruin the beauty of every situation, because we expect something that is outside of our control. Guess that's just stoic philosophy as well. I love science, but I can't quantify, but it can't quantify love yet. I mean, dissociative nugget, science can't quantify love, but it can find stuff like this. You know, that little dude is the oxytocin molecule. Let me unbutton another. That little dude is an oxytocin molecule. So even though we can't quantify love, we, on a biological level, at least our bodies have tried to create physical manifestations of love, and that's that molecule. And if you know what the other molecules look like, serotonin, dopamine, cortisol, testosterone, estrogen, norepinephrine, it's very close to dopamine, but technically different. All of these compounds are like kind of simple, on a chemical level. Making them in a lab is also kind of simple. This motherfucker, however, like, not simple whatsoever. And just that to me is just this indication of just the complexity of love. Love is something that is so hard to understand, dissociative nugget. And even though science can find, these compounds, there's so much more to it. There's so much more understanding to be gained in love. And we've been loving one another for as long as we've been beings. It just shows. Thank you for sharing that insight as well, friend. I feel that Rena, you're so right. Like, Melita is sharing like some straight wisdom today again. Thank you for doing that, my friend. Glad to hear. I'm better than yesterday. That's all that matters to me right now. Every single day, we're continuously moving forward, Talia. And we just have to show up for ourselves. We have to show up for ourselves. And, this is something I want to dedicate a whole stream to. And I already have it on the list of potential stream topics. Emotional intelligence isn't about feeling better. It's about getting better at feeling. I want to do a whole stream just on that idea. How do you feel about that? It's not about feeling better, it's about getting better at feeling and processing that feeling, being able to use that feeling as fuel for what you do creatively, what you do in communication, what you do with your own self. That is what it's about. You shouldn't necessarily, like, it's nice to feel good, sure, we can all, agree that, it's I like feeling good. Who would have guessed? But it's okay feeling bad as well. It's a part of this process. But understanding your feeling deeply into the bad feelings, and being able to look at them from a perspective of, I understand why I'm feeling this way, and I understand why it's necessary for me to be feeling that way. I look forward to having that chat with you, friends, as well. Thank you for reminding me of it again, Melina. That was Talia. Nugget, I used to want to figure everything out, but at some point I realized some things aren't supposed to be understood entirely. Love is magic. Oh yes, nice title. I wonder who could have inspired me to set that title, Toasty Malosty. It's nice to have you here, Brother Bear. You've been remembered. Your energy continues to create with us. Credit to you, Toasty. Oh yes, absolutely. Hey, C Young, it's nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for the helpful. Dan, thank you for the wholesome. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's tiring too to be earnest and anxious all the time over the unknown. Earnest and anxious about the unknown. It's funny. It's not really funny, but it's funny that we are so fascinated with the unknown, the things we don't understand. Because the things we do understand, we're like, oh, I understand this. And then it doesn't interest us anymore. Why is it that we are so fascinated with things that we do not understand? And why is it that we get so offended that when, rather, others don't understand us? When not understanding things seems to be the norm. Why do we get so worked up about it if it's so present in our universe? I have the exact issue. See, young, I feel I feel it's part of humanity, dude. Maybe just becoming aware, understanding that parts of ourselves, first and foremost, is how we can move past them, or at least be more aware when we feel those ways. Yes, it's so tangled up. Everything is so interconnected. Ah, thank you. No, thank you, Rita. Thank you. That's why I love quantum entanglements. Mysterious yet linked. Quantum entanglement. So, friend, if you're like, what is quantum entanglement? Quantum entanglement is basically this understanding that two atoms, with let's call it an oscillation, or like a one or a zero. Two atoms basically becomes quantumly entangled. What that means for that pair of atoms now is that when this atom flips, this one flips as well, and it does so faster if it's spread over a long distance enough. It does so faster than the speed of light. That is what quantum entanglement means. So if we can really figure out quantum entanglement, we would be able to communicate with one another instantly across the entire universe. Speed of light be damned. So then there is this understanding that I like to bring, that we are quantum beings and we are quantumly entangled as well. And every single time we make the decision to be connected, we collapse into one state instead of the other. Like we're either connected or we're separated, right? Like there's no in between. You're not like half connected to someone. No, like you're either fully there or you're fully not there. And that quantum state exists. Like we're basically doing that. With me showing up every single day, it's like a quantum state. Like being, every single other being is living his life, her life, and depending on which quantum state they collapse into, they can either be connected here or they cannot be connected here. But that doesn't mean that this love, this state ever goes away. It's always right here. We just have to collapse into one state or another. Quantum entanglement. Like I'm probably butchered it completely, but it's fascinating. You're completely right, Nugget. Thank you for joining us, Mona Noke. She said, "Good morning, Melty and Bearded." Kaya Troyes and Fred. Thank you for joining us. Mona Noke, it's nice to have you here, my friend. How are you doing? Ooh, mindful enneagram is enneagram, I believe is the way it's supposed to be said. Is joining us. It's super important to not just write off others' perceptions while also not getting lost in them. Balance. Oh goodness. Finding balance, I believe, is something we're always going to try to do. When we're going to collapse into excess, then we're going to collapse into abstinence, and then we're going to find some balance, and then that balance is going to lead us to feeling we might be worthy, capable of more, and then we'll get into more, and then that's going to shift the balance, and then we're going to be like, nah, this is too much, and then we're going to do nothing again. Yeah, the infinity melts. It continue melts. It's like saying patriot with a K. Patriot. Oh, thank you. Finally, finally. Like I've been butchering it this whole time. Patriot. Patriot. Goodness. Patriot. Thank you. Damn. The freaking embarrassment coursing through my veins right now. I love you, Brother Bear. Anyone who helps us confirm our understanding is a teacher, even when they confirm the opposite of their perspective. Everyone is a teacher, Brother Ryan. I, for the first time I ever really truly understood that was at a music festival, weirdly enough. I, at that point, I ate, I think, 2 grams of mushrooms, and it wasn't necessary for this exchange, but I'm being completely transparent and honest with you about what my state of mind was like. And I was, okay, let me give you a rundown. I was on the dance floor. I had these 2 little bankies of crushed mushroom that I took with me, 2 grams each, and that was basically what I wanted for the weekend. And Friday night, I was on the dance floor, kind of like, moving with the beat. I felt into the energy. It was like, yeah, gonna eat some mushrooms. Did so. Danced a little bit, kind of felt a little bit went into like an indoor dancing place. There was a table, there was a bunch of people sitting there, and I was alone at that point. My friends haven't shown up to the festival just yet. So I'm like, oh, cool, other people. So I sit down and I'm like, you friends want to smoke a joint with me? They're like, yeah, sick. I'm not going to say no to a joint. I take out one of my pre rolls. I basically light it, we smoke it together. And as I'm sitting there, like this experience is coming on, if you will. And the conversations that is had in that little group that I found myself in wasn't necessarily stuff that aligns with my understanding, let's say it in that way. And then this person from across the room literally calls out to me. I see him walking up to me. I stand up with him being close to me. He tells me, "You look like a person that likes hugs." I'm like, "Yeah, I actually do like hugs." He gives me a hug. He takes me to another space, away from the one that I was in. And it's like this complete 180 shift. And in that space, I was just sitting and listening to him. I was looking into his eyes, and he was a self-proclaimed shaman, and I wanted to learn from him. I was looking into his eyes, listening to his words, watching his body language, the way that he was carrying himself, the way that he moved through space, and I asked him, "Can you teach me?" And he looked me dead in the eyes, and he told me, "I already am, and you're teaching me as well." And it was in that moment that I realized, I truly, truly realized that every single person in every single situation is your teacher, is your mirror, is your other half, is the other side of that infinity. And if you can see it as such, if you can listen into those words, if you can learn from them, as you're saying, Brother Ryan, even if the person is saying to you the opposite of the thing that you think you're supposed to hear, or the way you understand the whole, you can gain understanding from that still. They are still your teacher, even if they're giving you bad information. And that realization has been a big part of my life. TBK, how are you and your lady? Feeling better? Like a long time ago, I believe. They're a lot better right now. Much better now. Thank you. Like, I'm happy to hear that again, Dan. Thank you so much for sharing love as well. Thank you for the energy, or the power, technically. Mindful. I remember one time you acted like you were not able to talk. I didn't act. I just didn't talk for 24 hours. My colleges, I was just like, okay, sick, no talking for 24 hours. And, I still had to do my stream. I just didn't talk. Liked him better, lol. Thank you, friend. I mean, maybe we'll do a silent stream again. Maybe. Uh, at some point, maybe. Thank you for the timeless beauty, mindful. JK, glad you can talk. Thank you, mycologist. I'm taking your words as a joke. No offense whatsoever. I'm flattered. Thank you, Talia. Love is infinite, and it cannot be quantified. The nuance of love. I feel that can be a stream topic of its own as well. No problem. Love the human, and okay, thank you for asking and for sharing that interest and love, my friend. It means the world. John, genuinely, like, it's a recognition. It's the closing of that infinity. Because before that moment, there wasn't that. There wasn't that understanding that another person cares, and that understanding was basically reflected back to you by them caring enough to answer you. Understanding. The gooses are nice and close. they've been really chill with me as of late. They've been getting pretty close. Like when I meditate as well, they'll get even closer to me. Maybe they're starting to chill out. Huh? You do starting to chill out? Realized? Like the thing is, it's not like we eat them or something, you know? If they've like had this message or this understanding in their minds that humans equal getting eat, then I would be like, yeah, I get it, you know, run away from me. But it hasn't been that way. Like we haven't chased them at all. Like my way of rationalizing why that is because they're wild animals. I was like, they're wild animals, so they don't want you touching them because they're wild. Maybe I'm wrong about that as well. I don't know. Morning melted friends. Jem is drawing your snoo. It's so good, Uncle Becky, dude. It like mildly kills me, just a wee bit, because I basically pop into Gem's stream as I'm, like you press the little X button or the plus button, and then you go live. But before you do that, you're on a stream, and the stream that I opened up was Gem's, and she just finished up, like drawing one of her snoos, and she was like, if anybody wants their snoo drawn, say so now. And I happened to be at the stream, and I'm like, oh, me please. And then I think two other friends was like, oh, some milk please, and I was like, just melting. And I asked Jem if she could do the melt the lion in a snoo form, and she was like, sick, I'll do that. And then the time I had to tune out of the stream was at exactly 1:44, on the timestamp. And I saw like the little face starting when I had to go live. So I'm curious, Uncle Becky. I'm so curious. Dan says, perhaps one day we can have a silent stream where we, the audience, spend our time encouraging you, and you can respond only with your eyes and facial expressions. Dan, I think you would love the silent stream, dude. Like if that's the way you think it would go down, you would love the silent stream that we have done. I'll do it again. Like when I was thinking about it, and this might not be the best thing to share with you friends, but I'm I'm completely transparent and honest with you. I was thinking about a day that me and friends were hanging out together, and they accidentally accidentally spiked me with a bunch of lions, and I'm just unable to talk, and I still do my stream, and I was imagining this. I was like, I'm still gonna freaking do my stream, show up, just like lost in lost in infinity. Says that's the word. I would love to do that. I would love to do it. Nonetheless, I might stay quiet, but it sounds like so much fun. Should I expect understanding? Question hit so hard. So yeah, thank you for feeling into that one as well. Because we don't expect understanding of other things. Like think about that as well, Melina. I don't expect Peppy to understand certain things. I don't understand these goosesses to understand certain things. I don't expect a lot of things to understand most things. But we do expect each other to understand, almost unequivocally, pristinely. And it's a unrealistic expectations to have of one another. The fact that you friends do understand is what's so surreal to me. Major breakthrough on the expectation to be understood. Major, you're right, Brother Bear. I feel like I have to write this one down for myself as well. See it one day. Just like straight, you don't need to be understood. You don't need to be understood. You don't need to be understood. This is a mantra that I feel wants to be read. And it goes like this. There are innumerable sentient beings in the universe. I vow to help them all to awaken. My imperfections are inexhaustible. I vow to overcome them all. The Dharma is unknowable. I vow to know it. The way of awakening is unattainable. I vow to attain it. And it's just this recognition of infinity, obviously, and it's beautiful. Melt got oxytocin on him, straight up on my body. I want to have all of the chemicals, the main ones at least. My idea is, because it goes like this, and then it goes up like this. I want to like create a golden ratio arc that kind of runs down like this, kind of like curling with the oxytocin, curling up, and then on this line, I want to have all of the other chemicals. Love being the core one that's most important to me. Next to that, I think maybe serotonin. Next to that, maybe dopamine. Then maybe testosterone. Probably. What would go after testosterone? I don't feel estrogen would. Like, estrogen is important, but it's one of the ones that influence me less than the rest of them. Oh, hopefully you friends can help me actually design. We can make a collective effort. Nancy says, one of the things I've noticed for a while now is that the way we communicate with each other is so influenced by our family of origin, and often we don't realize it. We're communicating with others who are doing the same, and misunderstanding arises. Nancy, if you heard the description I tried to make a little bit earlier, almost at the start of this stream, like you're so on point. Like you're so on point. Like what a beautiful insight that is. It's surreal. It's surreal, and it's not only is it on a family level, but it's on an individual level as well. That difference in understanding, and they can arise misunderstanding in a family situation because of that difference in seeing the exact same thing. And then like people being raised in different households, having different interpretations of the whole. Every single one of us have an infinite amount of complexity that gets applied onto our understanding of a subject, and it's crazy. It's so surreal. Paying, that's an infinitely beautiful way of seeing it. Oh yes, is paying and pain here? I'm not seeing is. Oh, there it is. Love is infinite and cannot be quantified. I thought it was Ryan for a second. Sorry, Thomas. It's nice to have you here, Brother Bay. I see you. I see you. Thank you for joining us again. Hello, Uncle Becky. How's life? As for quantifying love, check out our Heart Math Institute. Ooh, that sounds fascinating, Nancy. Please send me some information about that if you would be willing to. I definitely will try. Thank you. Yeah, that sounds fascinating, Dissociative Nugget. Moving along. Enough to hug everyone you see, and you'll get some natural oxytocin. Oh, you're right. Self reflection will get you to the truth. So, self reflection. I hear the word self reflection, and the instant image that my mind generates upon hearing the word self reflection is this understanding of an infinite ocean. Like, just in my mind's eye, there is a plane of water that is completely still, and then that plane of water just goes on infinitely in every direction. And as I try to move my awareness into different spots of that infinite ocean, I just find myself in the middle of an infinite ocean, looking out onto an infinite horizon again. And every single time I drop a pebble, I am unworthy. I am ugly. I am, na 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 na. Whatever you want to, call yourself. You're dropping these pebbles in this ocean of potential reflection, and it distorts the image that you see coming back to you. And we can distort that image with positive, feedback as well. But the thing is, reflection, that reflection that I'm thinking about right now, should be something that is uninterrupted or unperturbed, right? It should be it should be just observed. And it's very hard to find a truth. I guess maybe it's easy to find a truth in just observation. Technically that's the way that I found my truth, that love is true through observation. So maybe you're right. Maybe that is the way to truth. Self-reflection in a way where you do not disturb or distort the image coming back to you. Thank you, my college is present. I really love that, friend. There's a little quote I encountered in Cyberpunk 2077. Truth and good are values proven to cause division, whereas beauty is universal. Didn't that, Chinese gentleman say that? The one that was working for Arasaka and then got, dropped after the main Arasaka dude died? Spoiler alert for 2077. I think he was the one who said it, right, Talia? First time back on Reddit in a few months. Been watching you on YouTube. Ooh, the Sunnery. I remember you, friend. How are you finding Reddit again? Thank you for joining in again, my friend. It's so nice to have you. How have you been? How's life been treating you? Can you explain that quantum entanglement again, please? Talia, yes, thank you for prompting me to do it again because hopefully this time I can do it a little bit better. So, quantum entanglement, at least the understanding I have of it, is that two atoms, with a certain spin, let's say it spins clockwise or counterclockwise, and it has an axis technically because of that clockwise or counterclockwise spin. It creates centrifugal force, right? Creates a gravity field for itself. That that pair can be quantumly entangled with another pair exactly like it. And what quantum entanglement means is if this pair flips its orientation, it starts to spin in that direction, this atom flips as well. And they are, interdependent. And technically, if we figure out how to do that, how we can replicate that, technologically, we would be able to communicate interdimensionally, intergalactically. All we have to do is have the other pair on the other side. And then we can literally communicate through ones and zeros throughout all of space. Light will suddenly no longer be a problem. And it's trippy. It's so freaking cool. Not too bad. You got back from a rock climbing trip, so I'm still riding that high. Ooh, that sounds amazing. What am I gonna like? I want to shorten your name for some reason. Tossinery. I don't want to call you just Toss. That's not Tossinery. Tossinery it is. Thank you, friend. Tell us more about your rock climbing adventure. Do you do so with like ropes and stuff, and you like anchor yourself? Is there like pre-tied ropes onto the mountain that you tie yourself onto? Do you free climb? I'm really curious, friend. Right on. That sounds beautiful. It was. I went alone, but made a lot of friends along the way. It really helped me through some stuff. Sounds amazing, friend. I really want to rock climb myself as well, but I do not think I'm strong enough just yet. Want to get super strong. Like I feel if you can rock climb, like you're pretty much as strong as a human being can be. Goodness, I've seen. Oh, yeah. Well, like as I'm thinking about this, my mind is just like referencing all of these images, all of these videos, all of these experiences of human beings climbing things. That to my brain is like, what the fuck? Where's the gravity, yo? Like, why are these people? How can these people go from a 90-degree angle into another 90-degree angle into another 90-degree angle and they climb, and then they're upside down and then they're like reaching over and they're I'm like, how do you do that? How are you so strong? So, genuine inspiration to Scenery. Thank you for sharing with us, my friend. That's perfect. So glad to hear you overcame whatever it was that was in your way. That's absolutely beautiful. Literally climbed out of whatever was bothering him. Hi from Gemstream. Your snoo turned out great. Last Danger Girl, thank you for letting me know, friend. I'm really curious to see what it looked like as well. Thank you for joining us here. Thank you for sharing the space. We love and appreciate you. Silent stream, haha, dang, how could I miss that? You didn't? You didn't see that one, Talia? No, I think you were already watching when we did that. I think it was during the time that you weren't in the streams for a while. But it was cool. I can't remember what day it was though. I feel it was day 200. Was it day 200? It might have been day 200. My mind is melting. These spaces melts into itself. The amount of information in my brain that is a part of this space. The amount of understanding I've been thrusted upon me. I'm so grateful to have you, friends. Hey, Heather is joining us. Thank you for joining us, Heather. It's so nice to have you here. Hey, Heather, how's it going? One of the fondest melt memories is one of the festivals, Shaman. Yeah, me too. Like genuinely, that dude changed my life. Melida, he actually absolutely changed my life. And not only did he change my life, but there is this another friend called Stuart, who also absolutely changed my life. Stuart, I mean, Luke definitely did a bit, but I feel he was more a catalyst to change than he was the actual subject of the change. But that weekend, I had to confront a bunch of stuff about myself, especially in the context of feeling unworthy, feeling unable to create something for myself, to believe in myself. And after that weekend, all of that bias, all of that misaligned belief was demolished, got melted away. And I actually recently reached out to Stuart and I said this to him. I was like, bro, like your words and the space that we shared has been echoing, oh goodness, sorry, has been echoing in my mind and in my heart, this whole time. And because of the space that we shared, because of the wisdom and the words you shared with me, I have changed my life. I have literally changed my entire life. I have changed the way I do things, the things I show up for, what I believe can be done if you show up for things. And if I can inspire one person to do the same, to believe in themselves, in the way that he inspired me, like my life has been changed. If every single one of us changes a single life, then it's going to be changed in no time. Eight generations of us touching 10 people's lives, I believe, right? 8 generations. So I touch 10 lives. Those 10 people touch 10 lives. Those 10 people touch 10 lives. Only 8 generations of that. We change the entire world. Every single human being. If all of us just tried, and we're trying, you friends are actually trying, and that's the part that really it like creates a fire in my heart. It excites me. It makes me so freaking like crazy almost. Maybe the geese are introverts. Probably. I mean, they're pretty chill with one another, and they don't really have conversations the way that other birds would. So maybe they are introverts. You might be right about that. Dissociative nugget. Good day to all of you beautiful souls. Eat red meat. It's nice to have you here, Brother Vet. How are you doing? Going okay. Super tired still, but my day feels off, and I feel I missed this, so I wanted to join with my sleepy eyes. Oh, Heather, you can just put it by the side, listen in, drift in and out of consciousness. Every single time you come back, you find like, what? Love is still true. Sick. You can sleep a little bit more. We love you, Heather. How is your mother doing? I hope she's good by now. I believe she would be. Do let us know, my friend. Much love to you. Just listen and let your mind be guided. Okay, and the best part is, Jem just drew my snoo next to yours. I will plaster the blunt to you, my friend. Thank you, K8. I would really appreciate that. I look forward to being able to smoke a joint with you, friend. It's probably gonna be the most surreal thing ever, but I really look forward to it. Meltmore said nothing at all. That's the one, brother Bear. That's the one. It was pretty surreal. I was sitting in the tree seat for that stream, and I was like doing that because I knew the tree seat was gonna be kind of mildly uncomfortable, and on top of that, it would be hard for me to access the chat. On top of it being a little bit farther away, so I was like, yeah, this is the stream to do it. Okay, Uncle Becky says, y'all, please do me a favor. Please keep Snoogie in your thoughts and prayers. Live in the moment. We're not promised the next one. Snoogie. Who's Snoogie, Uncle Becky? I'm wishing him all the best. Like I want to send Snoogie more love, but I want to know who this is. Has she or he joined us? Love you, Red Clicker. Like I feel like I'm out of the loop, Uncle Becky. Please do let me know. Running high. Jem is coming. No, we should have our arms open for Jem. Thank you for joining us as well, Sarvina Stardust. It's so nice to have you here, friend. Thank you for sharing love. I can't watch the stream, but I just came to wish you a wonderful day. Little bear, love to you, my friend. We'll see you again next time. Thank you for sharing love, even for a moment. Love to you. We need to plan something special to give him. I'm going to reach out to the Reddit admins for assistance as well. Please do. Please do. Ninja needs to be here for the day 404. Yeah, she has to. Where's Ninja? Lisa! Lisa! You're breaking my heart, Lisa! I don't know how many of you are gonna be like, the fuck is Melton about? If you haven't watched The Room, like I pride myself on recommending things to you that I'm like, this is something good. I'm recommending it because I believe it's good. The Room is not good. It's very much not good, but it's so bad that you can watch it ironically, and that's where the whole Lisa, you're breaking my heart, Lisa. You're breaking my heart. Hopefully Lisa will join us for a second. Jam is joining us. Hello to you, Jam. Thank you for sharing the space with us, my beloved friend, and thank you for drawing my snoo. I heard you drew K8 Black. Yeah, K8 Black next to my snoo, so she's passing me a joint actively. Thanks for this. Have a great day, little dear. Hello, Linsby. I want to hug you so bad. How have you been, my friend? I feel like we haven't had a proper conversation in a while, Lynn. How are you doing? How's life been treating you? Devastated and hurt so bad for our friend. What happened, Uncle Becky? Please do let me know. Right back at you. I could use one. Still reeling. Man, I feel like the more disconnected I am, the more the understanding, like that's technically what's happening, because I don't understand what's going on. It's making me feel more and more disconnected. Doing good, thank you. We're all well. Glad to hear that. Yesterday, everything that matter. Absolutely. Day by day, we take it, Talia. Just keep showing up. That showing up thing is to me in my mind an anti, if you will, self to thoughts of self harm. Instead of self harm, keep showing up. Because if you keep showing up, you're gonna find things to show up for. And if you have things to show up for, then self harm will become less and less of an option in your mind. Influence that infinity. Good morning, Melt. Everything is in a bloom around you. It looks like a beautiful day. It's so green, Len. It's so green. The water has been pouring on the farm. Like, I feel we've received more rain the last 6 months than we have in the last, statistically, I could say, in the last 6 years. But probably more water in the last 6 months than we've received in the last 2 years. So we were very, very blessed. Very, very happy about it. It's day 404. Hopefully, she will join us. I do both, but the trip was bouldering. So short, very intense routes with pads. Got a hard route that I've been working on. You start upside down in a pit over sharp rocks, climb out and up, and then end up with a high, stretchy top out. Human beings, I freaking love you, Tussinary. Thank you for sharing that with me. I'm inspired by you, Melty. You inspire me as well, Jem. Like, being able to draw like you do, like, for me, let me share. I am hypercritical. Like, I, I, I try. I really try as hard as I can. But the part of myself that is aware has been so aware for so long that it knows what it's been aware of. And when the things I'm aware of isn't in alignment with what I've been aware of, then I don't approve of it. And seeing you being able to create work of art after work of art, each one of those snooze is literally a complete work of art. And watching you do that, watching you be able to, share that love, that intention, that energy with so many beings, you're an inspiration as well. Like, Jem, all of us are inspiring one another. That's a trip. That's the trip. We're doing it. And Toss is fine. I mean, it is fine to scenery, but in Afrikaans, Toss is not a it's not a word you want to be associated with. Stream 666 should be on October 28th, 2022. Really? I guess you're right? Damn. I don't know why, but for some reason, I thought stream 666 is going to be only next year. I don't know why I thought that. I guess it's very simple math associated with Nugget. What will we do for the stream 666, dude? Maybe we'll be a little bit playful. We'll stick horns to my face or something. You know, because the devil is inside all of us as well, just as God is. Or you can call it, you know, evil or good. We're capable of all of it. And unfortunately, men, let's just call it, this is unfortunately humans, do not want to admit that to themselves. So we've created these separations, these externalizations of, oh, it's not me. No, me? Evil? Me hurt people? No, not me, not me. Me steal from people? No, I could never. Me kill this person? No, I would never do that. It was the devil. It was the devil who made me do it. No, in fact, it was it was you. It was all you. It's always been you. And yeah, so maybe we'll be a little bit comical with it. I don't know if my dad will find that too funny, but Chillavision. Oh, my OG buddy. Snoogies Chillavision is an RP OG. Yeah, I know about Chillavision. I didn't know his name was Snoogies. Is he okay? Please do tell me as well. He was entertaining people in every time zone by doing 24-hour streams in the first lockdown, and yeah, like that, I cannot even imagine. So like I remember, you know, that being like basically the way he started. I believe he still holds the record for the longest Arpan stream. Goodness, I heard here in 24 hours. Like we still have to do a 24-hour stream as well. Is he okay? I hope so. Melt, have you heard or read about Richard Tarnas? I can't say I have, actually, Nanshi. What is he about? Good morning, Isaac. Thank you for joining us again, Brother Bear. It's been such a blessing having you in stream as of late. He needs 3 days off, so stream 666 will be on Halloween. He needs 3 days off? Oh, I see what you mean. Unfortunately, I don't take days off. Stars, Sorvina. Stage 4 cancer, and he just found out. He announced it on a stream Saturday night. Goodness. Stage 4 cancer. Do you know where the cancer is? Is it bone cancer, you know, leukemia, brain cancer? Like, is it operable? Is it malignant? Is he going to chemo? Is he gonna accept his fate? Like, I have so many questions. Goodness, stage 4 cancer. My understanding is trying to communicate to me right now that we all have cancer. You know, that's the crazy thing about cancer, is that cancer isn't something you get, it's something you have. It's when a cell dies, but instead of, you know, being decommissioned, it zombifies. It zombifies. So it's dead, but it wants to stay alive. So it continues to grow as a dead cell. And it, for some reason, has the ability to instruct your body and, you know, your nutrient delivery systems to feed it more than it feeds the surrounding cells, causing it to, you know, grow. It's surreal because a cancer cell is just your cells. That's why we die of cancer. It's because our bodies are like, no, well, you know, I don't see a problem here. It's me. But in fact, it's you, but it's you separated. Fuck, dude. Stage 4 cancer. Yes. Sending him so much love. I want to know more. Inspiration cycles are a beautiful thing. You never know when you inspire another. And I believe we're constantly like that's on that because we never know when we inspire one another. Instead of being like, oh, well, I guess I can't know, I just have taken this association of like, we always inspire one another. So keep inspired. Cham, thank you, my friend, for being such an inspiration. Oh, I agree. Halloween. Oh, damn, Uncle Becky, that's rough. I'm sending so much love. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Talia. I wasn't present for that stream, but I missed that. Me too. Not operable. Thank you for letting me know, Lynn. I wish a miracle that it goes into remission. My mind instantly, goes crazy. And it's like, I want to have him fast. I want him, try and go on a water diet for like a week. I want him to eat copious amounts of mushrooms. I want him to start doing breathwork exercises. I wanted to start doing yoga, but I couldn't understand what he must be going through right now. And my masculine nature wants to fix things. Fuck. Stage 4 cancer, dude. Yes. I want to organize something epic for our friend. Send me any ideas you may have. Yes, fuck, dude. I'm drawing blanks right now. Uncle Becky, I'm sorry. Can't if it can help at all, please let me know. Please let all of us know. We need to throw him an epic celebration in his name. Sorry to read that. I know it sounds corny, but I'll pray for him. Please do, Nancy. It doesn't sound corny at all. I believe prayer is just a manifestation of energy. Instead of there being nothing, there is something. That's why when someone tells me they'll pray for me, I'm like, please, please pray for me. Like, pray for me every single night. Pray for me every moment of every day. I would love that. Because instead of there not being this energy of love, this energy of I care about this person and I want to share good energy with them, there is that. So, absolutely. Thank you, Nancy, for praying. Bro, don't talk about cancer. Don't tell me what not to talk about, dude. Part of myself that gets triggered about stuff. Wanted to be triggered about that. Don't you fucking dare. Hey there. He's working on making decisions. Thanks so much, everyone here, for sending love and healing wishes to him. He's one of the most important people in my life. Len, I'm so sorry to hear this. Like, I want to reach out to him directly. I guess that would be the best way to. Kelly is joining us as well, saying maybe put up a call to the masses he has touched to send short video clips of encouragement and hope and string them together so he knows people all over the world are in his corner. I don't know how Arpan works. I mean, the best way to do that would probably be to like create some sort of Google Doc or Google folder, and then for people to drop their videos in that, and then for someone who has, I would do it actually. Someone who has access to editing software and knows how to use it can cut those together. I would be more than willing to take the responsibility for that. If your friends would be willing to take videos and send them to me, please. I've heard of stage 4 people doing extended fasting and beating the odds. Yeah, Nugget, it's happened a lot, interestingly enough, friend. But telling a person to not eat for 2 weeks at a time is very difficult. Just because I can do it doesn't mean that others can. And I need to understand that as well. Thank you for the friendly neighbor. We appreciate you so much, Jem. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much. My heart goes out to both of you. No, I'm holding you in my heart as I move through my week. Thank you so much, Kelly. So much love for you, Lynn. Please keep in touch and we'll reach out to you. Please do. Last Danger Girl says, What watching that whoa, whoa, whoa. What watching that clip video at a meetup with his closest Reddit buddies? What watching that clip video at the meetup with his closest Reddit buddies? What watching that clip? I'm sorry, friend. I do not understand. Kelly, that's a beautiful idea. Thank you, Talia, for doing the same. Geese are the best trolls. Oh, yes, they are. They're behind me now. Hoping you're doing well. When they hiss, it makes me want to hug them. Makes you want to hug them, you know? I also want to hug them when they hiss at me, you know? Extend my arms. Grasp firmly around their necks. And then hug them. I'm joking. I just wanted to try and get myself out of this mindset that I'm in right now. Sorry for going dark. The power of love and community can be incredible things. Learn that we're here every single day. We are Talia. Thank you so much, Kelly, for being here as well. It's a great idea. So much love to those struggling. Let me know if I can help. Thank you. That's beautiful. Beautiful beings, you all be. Sending you all so much love. Friends, I'm sorry if I'm ending the stream a little bit abruptly. Thank you for joining me, for sharing this moment with me. Please do share some love to Chillavision. Snoogies. Is his real name Snoogies? Maybe that's why it's perturbing me as well a little bit. I mean, he has to have a normal name. Snoogies? I mean, Snoogies not a bad name. Ermias Plur. Fuck, dude. Stage 4 cancer, man. Yeah, see, dude, that's not cool. You know the part that bothers me, and I don't know if I should be bothered by this, but the part that bothers me is the fact that, within the next 20 years, technology is going to advance enough that that won't be a problem anymore. And now he got stage 4 cancer. Now, fuck. Okay. It's Nick. Thank you. Len, thank you so much. That's his username, Nick. Now I feel even more closeness. Nick. Hmm. I saw this red cross, with a white border around it. Like literally the healing symbol, be it in games or the medical industry. You know what? Freaking what? How sick would it be if he beats it? Hmm? Like let's actually, instead of thinking, oh, stage 4 cancer, inoperable, blah 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 blah. Let's imagine instead him beating this. Him actually, this freaking cancer going into remission, him being able to continue doing what it is he's doing, continue living life. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I want to think about instead. It's called Tough Love, Melt. Oh, yes. Maybe you got what I was talking about. Apologies for the dark comment, lol. Isaac says, ha, neck hug. That was my mom's favorite move. Goodness, Isaac, it's okay. I don't even want to hug a hissing goose. Oh, apologies. I'm happy that your friend at least lived into that, little bit of a comical moment with me. I meant the clip video was a great idea. What about watching that at a meetup with his closest rated buddies? Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. Thank you, Last Danger Girl. It's just gonna be an intention. We all have to actually do that. Just his username, it's Nick. Again, thank you so much, Len. Nick. Like when I was thinking Nick, and I closed my eyes, and I had this intention to send him healing energy, just this green cross in a little red border. It's like shifting now. It's just manifesting, both. Like, okay, green border, red cross. Okay, now it's red cross with red border, inversing itself. Lots of love. Glad I was able to catch even the least bit of this beautiful space. You are all incredible. We'll be manifesting hope and love this week for Nick. Thank you so much, Isaac. Genuinely, Snoogies was one of the earliest custom snooze I ever did, even before Reddit started using them. Jem, I want to send you a message in private. Yeah, you might know what the message is about already. It's something that you mentioned in stream, but you know what? I'm just gonna say it here. I want to, if you'd be willing to, buy that one you're working on right now, because you very much like encapsulated it perfectly by saying it's like a snapshot. It's like a part of what Reddit is as it is right now. Every single one of those people had this intention to have their snooze drawn, and that means they're actual RPAN watchers that was watching RPAN, and then because they were watching RPAN, their Reddit character got manifested into a physical form, and that physical manifestation is technically connected to this thing that is RPAN Reddit. So I want that one. You know, it might be mildly biased because my snoo is on one of them. But if you'd be willing to, Gem, I would love it. And I, of course, I'll buy it from you. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Share the love and beauty and good vibes of the world you're encountering today. You're infinitely precious. Thank you, Talia, for knowing that about yourself and for sharing that truth with others as well. So much love to you. Currently in the process of improvement. Oh, absolutely. I feel a lot of peace knowing that so many of you are sending love to him in the universe. Some who don't know him. It's wonderful. Thank you. Love is true, Lynn. Love is actually true. The more we show up, the more we realize that. Do you still have it? I don't think so. I think I have a picture of the whole page, but the artwork itself was sold already, and it lives in New York. Of course, you can. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's on Chillavision subreddit, I think. Do you still have it? That's pretty crazy, actually. I think I have a piece, picture. It lives in New York. By Melt and everyone. Friends, thank you. I'm going to roll a joint with the intention. I'll write Nick's name on the Garrick paper. What are you doing? I'm tripping out right now. Dead coder. One of our friends is sick. One of our friends has stage 4 cancer. His name is Nick. If you have love in your heart to spare, please do send some to him, Dead Coder. Friends, Siobhan, so much love to you. Lynn, so much love to you. Jam, when my art will be an essay too. Yes, you're right, actually. And I'll hang it up in my room. So every time I walk past it, I'll think about you and then, all of the beings that have been manifested on that piece of paper as well. But he's beating it. Oh, yes, of course. Of course he's beating it. No doubt in my mind. He's going to beat it. The amount of love we're like sending him, he's probably like getting exploded right now. All of the hate, all of the um, doubt, all of the separation that might have been manifested in his body throughout the years, melting away as we're sending him love. Love y'all. I will pray for him. Prayer works. It does. It does actually. And especially if we pray as collective, as if we have that mental energy that we're sending towards someone. We're powerful beings. I believe it about all of us. Love, my friends, high quality humans. I see that as respect, love. Respect and love infinitely. And I go, dude, thank you, friends. Again, thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Thank you for sharing love. Thank you for understanding why we do this. There's not a lot of people that do. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you friends again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for sharing this space.